Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me. I am Bets Golden and this is my channel. I am here today with Leisure Arts. They have these new mini maker kits out. Basically what this does is this provides you with an opportunity to try your hand at a couple different types of art techniques without going into debt doing it. Paint pouring is a hot thing right now, and this is an affordable way for you to try your hand at this technique. And it comes with a book, 3 paints, your white no mix paint, this is your medium, a brush, and then 2 little 5x5 canvases, as well as your gloves. I have been provided by Leisure Arts with this kit to share with you today, so this video you could say is sponsored. However, all the opinions and everything I have are my own. If you are interested in this kit or any of the other Leisure Arts products, make sure that you check out my link down below to their shop and get your hands on one. I believe this kit is somewhere in the range of $14 to $20, so it's very reasonable. You will need, in addition to the supplies that have been provided, little mixing cups. I just bought some really cute little solo cups, as well as something to mix with. I have some popsicle sticks, and then something to pour in, and I'm going to be using a very large box. First thing we want to do is we want to mix up our color, but before, let me back up a little and show you what makes this kit really unique and special. The thing that I like, not only does it provide for you pretty much almost everything that you need to do this technique, it does give you a really nice handbook that tells you 4 or 5 different ways that you can pour, and it walks you through step by step the different ways. And so you have a dirty drag, you have a dirty pour, you have a puddle pouring, and then you have a dirty flip cup technique, and you have, like I mentioned, the puddle pouring, which I'm going to do today, and then the swipe technique. So you get to kind of pick which techniques you want to use. It talks about utilizing the technique on page 4, which is the dirty drag. I've done this before. I have videos on this, so I'm going to do something different that I've never done before, and that is the pedal pouring and then also the swipe technique. Now, in addition to what I have, one of the things that's recommended is a silicone-based oil, which you add into your paint, and that gives you your cells. I am going to use what I have on, which is the Cell Creator by Dina Wakley. However, you can use any silicone-based oil available. All right, so the first thing that we want to do this technique is we want to mix our paints. We need them to be fluid, so they recommend with their pour base to use 4 parts pour, 1 part color, and that'll just make it fluid. So I'm going to go up and just mix up 3 of these right now in these little teeny tiny cups, and I'm going to kind of eyeball it. I like to give mine a nice shake. All right, and I haven't even opened these because I wanted to make sure that you guys saw everything from the get-go. So let's see here. Okay, and I really appreciate the fact that they give you gloves, because this can be a very, very messy art. And it is with, I think these are acrylic paints. So I'm really curious on how these paints pour. I've always used plaid for this technique. Actually, that looks like that might be kind of a, it should be acrylic based. Almost looked oil there for a minute. So I'm going to make sure I really give it a nice shake. I've used plaid paints, folk art paints, and then also the Dina Wakley media paints. And I can tell you as I get this ready right now, my least favorite paints to use are the Dina Wakley paints, just because they go on blotchy. And I know that it's the thing is the paints were older. Those acrylic paints were older. However, I don't want to normally use When I pour because I'm using up old paint. I don't want to have to go buy new paint to do this technique, if that makes any sense. So I've been able to use successfully the plaid paints with no problem whatsoever, and it works beautifully. And plaid paints are much, much more economical than Dina Wakley. So with that being said, though, this technique is really nice because you can get everything for really an inexpensive price point. Try it out. If you like it, you can go out and buy your products. If you don't like it, then it's okay. You have 2 fun canvases that you were able to create with, and then you're good to go. All right, so I am just going to pour in some of this white paint into all of my bases here. Okay. And this should give me enough for both of my canvases. Remember, and I'm really glad that they give you like just enough of this, because I don't want to get stuck with a lot of this, you know what I mean? So, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and mix up the blue, and that's pretty lucid already. Okay. And then we're going to mix up the yellow. Okay, the yellow has a little bit more body to it than the blue did. And then we're going to mix up this pink. And that's a little bit loose too. Okay, now I'm going to take my stick, and I have a stick for each. And I'm just going to mix this all together. It needs to have like the consistency of honey, so I'm mixing this all together. Now, when I read this, I thought that you had to prepare the paint, but now I'm thinking, yeah, put it to 1 part acrylic. So that's really light, so I'm probably going to have to add some more blue to it. But maybe, like, this yellow is really thick. This is also a really great thing to use if you have kids who you want to try something, but you don't want to go out and buy $30 worth of paint. Okay, so I'm going to put in some more paint, definitely on the pink. That's pretty fluid though. And then I'll add some more to the blue as well. My little cups are getting full, huh? And I think what I'm going to do, I have an idea on what I can do with that blue. I'm going to use that as the base. I like that yellow. Okay, so from here, I'm going to just set this aside, and I'm going to go get my box. And we're going to set up our workstation in our box. Okay, so here we go. And I'll be able to do all my pouring in this box, which will make it really nice when I go ahead and swap out. When I need to let it dry, I can just pick the whole box up and take it. So I'm just going to put out 4 little solo cups upside down, and these will be my bases, so it'll drip. And I can totally save the solo cups when I'm done. And then I'm going to put this one on here and this one on here. All right, and we're going to do 2 different techniques. Obviously, I've said that right. And I'm going to move this one down, this one up a little bit. Like so. And that'll just allow for even more areas for it to kind of spill over and not onto each other. And make sure I stay in frame for you. Okay, all right. All right, so I did not add my cell creator on this, so I'm gonna go ahead and just do that. So I'm gonna put my paint down here so we can all see. So I'm gonna add in, I like to vary it up. So I'm gonna do one like that there, and that there. And you don't want to over mix this, as if you do, it'll defeat the purpose. So we'll just put a little bit in, like so, just to get it going in there. This one, like so, and then this one. All right, so I'm gonna start to pour this now. I really did want a white base and I was stupid and I didn't hold out. So what I'm gonna do is I have another pour medium, and I was gonna use it, but you know what, I'm not. We're just gonna go without. So let's see here. Let's see if I can have any of this white left in here. We'll see, I may have used it all up. I got a little bit. So I'm going to do 2 puddles on this. And I'm going to start with that white medium. I'm going to set this aside for the next one. And the first thing I'm going to pour out is a little bit of blue. And that did not spread like it should. It should spread. It does say that you can add water to your medium if it doesn't want to spread. So I'm just going to throw in some of that blue first. Okay. And then this one over here. All right. Then I'm going to pour on top of that the pink. Now the reason why you might want to throw some white on is because depending on, you know, your the fluidness of this, you could get some muddying of colors, but I'm not going to blend it too much. I'm going to just let it puddle and see what happens. And then let me put in some yellow. Okay. So let's just let that move around a little bit for a minute. Now I am going to take in my white medium and add a little bit of water to my white my white paint. It does say that in the book that you can do that. You can add some water. So I'm going to add some water so it can help me with my next go round. Because I'm going to need that for my next. All right, I'm going to add another cell creator into my colors, and then we will do some more puddle pouring, and then I'll pick it up and we'll move it around a little bit and watch it spread. So do so. So the blue on this definitely is a lot more fluid than the other colors. So let me go ahead and just pour some of that out. And that weight is going to definitely start to spread it all out. Okay. I want to save the rest of that for that canvas. And then let me do this pink. Over here, like so. And then the yellow, and I gotta mix in that cell. Okay, my son's yelling at the dog, so sorry if you can hear that. All right, and I'm gonna mix up a little bit more, I think, colors. The blue, I wanna make that a little bit darker. And then from here, this is super thick still, so I'm gonna just go ahead and just maneuver this around just to get it to move. Like so. I'm really glad I have on my gloves. That is pretty. I do love this bright colors. This is so nice. And I like to make mine drip all the way down. Oop. Got some on the other canvas. So even the stuff that's going on in my box is super pretty. So just want to get that last corner. Pouring. There we go. Now it's getting covered. All right, so I'm going to set that up like so. And let that dry. But that looks pretty stinking cool. And now it's really moving, and it's just really like dripping everywhere, which is exactly what we wanted. Do you want to take and just push that out from the edge? There we go. All right, so from here, I want to take and do this canvas. I'm going to take off these gloves. I'm really glad that they sent 2 pairs of gloves because they do get dirty. And as it starts to set up and dry, that cell division is supposed to start to react. Now, I have to tell you that I haven't had much luck with the Dina Wakley cell creator. It just hasn't really worked very well for me. And I've tried 1 drop, I've tried 2 drops, I've tried 3 drops, and it just has not ever really worked very well for me. So that's not part of this kit. That's another line. So keep that in mind when you guys are doing, if you use it, it might not be working, and that might not be you. That really might be the product itself. Okay. All right, so I'm just adding some more paint into each of these. That yellow one's really thick, so I'm going to take some of I have some other medium that I can use, some pouring medium, and I'm actually going to go ahead and throw that in here with these colors. All right, so I'm just going to take and put that on in here. Ooh, I didn't mean to make a mess. Okay. And again, this pour medium is not part of this kit. It's just what I had on hand because I got a little bit excited when I was making this. And that is a really nice texture. Okay. And there we go. We're going to do what's called the wet swipe technique. This is found in the book as well. And so I got my blue. I'm going to add a little bit more yellow. And I'm going to add a little bit more pink. And I'm already starting to see the cells divide out in my blue, which is super awesome. I'm very excited about that. So that's very cool. And I'm going to do a little bit more yellow. All right. Now, depending on what kind of medium that you use, pouring medium, it may be 2 part to 1 part color, 3 part to 1 part color, 4 part to 1 part color. So just keep that in mind, okay? So I'm just going to mix this. Now, for this technique, what we're going to do is we are going to do strips of these colors, and then we're going to take and put a little bit more. I have a little bit more of that white base pour, that white paint that was sent in this kit, and we're going to pour that on the edge, and then we're going to take a wet paper towel and swipe it. So I'm very excited about this one. All right, and I'm just going to add in a little bit more of that. Okay, I think I may have overmixed it, so I'm doing that. And again, the silicone oil will be your best bet for this. All right, I'm going to take out my straws now because they're just going to get in my way. And I don't need them. That was just for mixing. And I have that ready to go. And then I have my paper towel ready to go as well. So here we go. I'm going to put, I think I'm going to put down the middle, the blue, and then I'm going to do on the edges pink. So let me start up here with this pink. Okay, and I want to cover like a third of the canvas. And then I'm going to do the blue. Nice. And then I'm going to do the yellow. Okay, now that's super thick. There's a lot of it there. Going back through. Boopy. And then I'm going to take my white, and you want to take, and just on the edge, you want to pour it out on the edge, like so. Just like that. And then you're going to take your white paper towel, your wet paper towel, and you're going to lay it down on top, like so. I'm going to lay it down like so, and you're going to pull it through. Just like that. And that's going to carry that white through. And ooh, I'm already seeing my cells start to divide. In this point, I'm not even pulling it. It is literally just pulled itself through. How awesome is that? I am loving what that looks like. That looks so cool. And I don't really want to mess with this at all. I want to leave it like this so that it can drip and dry overnight, and then it's going to give really cool, I don't know what it's going to look like when I'm done. I don't know. We're just going to have to see. But that is 2 techniques that have been provided for you in the book. So if you're interested in this really is, yeah, there are some things that I kind of had to, you know, critique a little bit with it, and I read it over. Maybe I misunderstood, but it's a really, for 14 or 20 bucks, I think it's a really great value, and it gives you the basics to start with paint pouring. This would be a wonderful thing to do with your child as long as you had some supervision. I think it would be a really great project, and a $15, $20 for an afternoon of crafting with your child I think is a great investment. So definitely give it a try. They have other mini maker kits, one about felt flowers. They have like some ones where the you can do, I think they even have like some knitting and crocheting ones. So there's a whole bunch of them over there, and it's just enough to get you to just give you some experience. It's not like you're going to build your arsenal of crafting with this at all. It's just enough to give you kind of like a class in a box for a reasonable price. No matter what, you're going to walk away with 2 really cool canvases, and that to me is great, and the opportunity to do this was so much fun. So definitely I recommend it, you know, and then once you dabble with it and you play with it, then you can make your decision on if you want to continue to do paint pouring or not. But it's definitely an economical way to get your hands dirty and just to see. And, you know, whatever, you walk away with 2 really cool canvases that are ready to hang on your wall or do art. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them down below as well in the comments. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I certainly hope that you do so, and also make sure that you check out that link to the Leisure Art Shop. Until next time, I'm Bets Golden. Happy crafting.